everyone, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. This video is a little bit of a special edition video. It is, and there's Miss Poppy. This is my July pre-order scent breakdown list from Dessa's Homespun Scents. If you are new to Dessa has been in business for 10 years. Her and her husband recently relocated across the country from Arizona to Ohio to be closer to her daughter and grandkids and such. She moved in springtime and just finalized her basement where she's going to have her wax lab and all those things, and she is just so excited to get back to pouring wax for us. I know I talk to Dessa almost every day. Her and I become quite close friends. And even though I am a moderator for her group, we have had a friendship for a long time now. We talk about a lot of things. So I thought it was super important to go over this list because I have been shopping with Dessa for a couple of years. And I'm very familiar with a lot of these blends and these oils. And I know that I did this type of breakdown for another vendor that had a pre-order a few weeks ago, and a lot of people thanked me for that. So this one is really for those of us who are maybe very seasoned and want someone else's take on it, or those of you who are new to Dessa's wax and such. This one is her fall pre-order. And then the next pre-order she will do will be mostly her winter blends. And if you're in Dessa's Facebook group, which is where she has 99%, if not 100% of her updates, she only really opens a few times a year. This year, as I said earlier, is a little bit of an exception because of her relocating. I know it's a lot of work. I've done it myself, and it takes a lot out of you. But I'm so happy that Dessa's back. She's so, like I said, she's so happy to get back to pouring wax. She tries her best. She does have a full-time job, so she's still working. She pours in her spare time on the weekends. However, she makes her work-life balance, fit wax into her work-life balance and family time and such. That's why she only has a certain number of blends that she can offer. She can't offer everything that we request. She has to, either say this is going to be her fall pre-order, have a lot of fall heavy blends, which you guys, if you've looked at the list, you know. I didn't get time to cut these out individually to have them on the screen, but the best thing to do is if you want to follow along with me, pull up on your computer or your phone the list that's on her page. My husband printed this off for me because we don't have a printer here in our house, and this is in alphabetical order, and I think that's the way that Dessa actually has it on her page as well. I'm pretty sure she's meticulous like that. She has a good bit of new ones on here and a good bit of old ones, and some of our favorite ones like Lemonlicious. I'm looking here, and I know there's Sugared Strawberry Streusel, and she added a last minute scent today, which I'm happy about. I actually have it right here next to me. So, okay, without further ado, here we go. Okay, Dessa's Homespun Scents is owned by Dessa Bonner from Beaver Creek, Ohio. She's originally from Gilbert, Arizona. Beaver Creek is just outside of the Dayton area on the western part of Ohio. I used to live about an hour away from where Dessa is right now. And I told her that next time I go to Columbus, I'm coming to visit. And she said, just let me know, I'll be here. So Dessa offers several sizes in her lineup. She has a particular menu of scents that you can choose from, of course. But she also has 6 different sizes now. I had them here to show you. So I did not write down the prices for each of these sizes, but I have a rough estimate in my head. The smallest size that she has, these are tiles. Let me turn this light down a little bit here. These are tiles, and they're pretty thick here. What I do is if you want to make your budget stretch farther, try different blends you haven't tried before, or ones you're kind of on the fence with, oh, I don't know if I might like the note in this, etc., then I would suggest a tile. That's why Dessa offers these. So everybody can have a little bit of something. You don't have to be locked into a larger size like a big bar or a loaf, a custom loaf. So what I do here is I just chop these down into 4 pieces. That's an adequate piece for my warmer. Some of you chop this in 6. I find 4 performs well. I only have hot plate warmers and tea lights in my home. I do have a Scentsy Accord also, and some of Dessa's stronger scents, like her fresh scents or her pines and some of her fall berries and winter berries, I will put in my Accord. But most of the time, I find that the hotter, the warmer, the better the wax performs. So I will talk about the wax in a second, but I'm going to show you just the sizes. So I believe these are $3.95 each. Those are the tiles. The next size that she has, which is the most popular size, these are the breakaway bars. This is in Pirate Voyage, which she added to the list today due to popular demand. This is one of my top scents of Dessa. It has been since I've had it. I buy it every time it's available. But these are 7-piece breakaway bars. A lot of vendors have this mold, and I love this because no chopping involved. Break a piece and go. You can also mix and match with these too in your warmers. The next size that she has, this is a new size. This is a tub. Now, why I have this tub like this is because I helped Dessa test her new wax formula a couple of months ago. And this in here is the last formal official new formula. This scent is sugared zucchini streusel, actually, and I've had this. Dessa sent this to me maybe a month ago or so, and it was just freshly poured, so it needed a little bit of cure time. I warmed it back then just to see what it was like. And then I let it sit, and I actually put this upstairs in my Scentsy Accord because I really wanted to see what can this do. This performed beautifully. This, what she did with how she changed up her wax formula is she, in her downtime, she wanted to improve her product. She has seen some of your positive and negative feedback, and she wanted to offer a better product to maybe give a little bit of longevity, not just with performance when it's actually warming, but shelf life also. She took what a lot of you guys said into consideration, and she's tweaked a few things on her side. Her formula is still soft. It still cuts with a butter knife. It's not hard or crumbly or anything like that. It melts down beautifully. She did just tweak around a little bit of percentages and I don't know really what else she did. And then plus, I don't know if I'm at liberty to say, but she wanted to keep the formula texture-wise so it could sustain hotter temperatures. Her being in Arizona for most of her life, she's used to hot weather, shipping in hot weather, sitting in trucks, etc. But she also wanted to keep the softness and the texture that a lot of you guys have loved over the last 10 years that she's been in business. So this is the tub. I believe these are $12.75. I don't know the ounces, I don't remember that part, but these are the sturdy tubs, similar to what Second and Spruce uses and Teddy Bees. This is the official tub too. It's not marked because, you know, she was just sending it to me, but this is the tub. I'm gonna get some scents in this size. I love because then, you know, in the past, sometimes I didn't want to necessarily have a loaf, and I didn't want to necessarily just buy 2 breakaway bars, and I know a tile wouldn't be big enough. So this tub, she actually did a not a survey, but a poll a few months ago, and asked if you guys would prefer souffles or tubs, and ultimately she went with tubs. And I know that she asked me to a while ago, and so I gave her my opinion as a consumer, and then also as someone who is you know, trying to help out a little bit with all your questions, and because Dessa has done it all herself the last 10 years, and you know, when you have a group that's been that big, that long, because there's several thousands of you in the group, you need a little bit of help. And I absolutely love the relationship and bonding that a lot of you guys have, and have with me, and I have with you, and all those things. And that size I have that I'm going to talk about, these are the big bars. This is another scent that is in the list. This is Georgia Peach. This is my husband's absolute favorite Dessa scent. It's so strong, you can smell it through the bag. And this is, I didn't mark this one, but I got this one in the last pre-order, I think. So it would have been late last year. These are brittles. Basically, a lot of other vendors have this. Glitterati has this shape. Traverse Mountain, Traverse Mountain has it. Sassy Girl, had it when she was open. And these are just the same, 7 rows, 4 across, so 28 pieces here. These are $10.95 or 10 something, I think. The other 2 sizes that Dessa offers are where you can have a little bit of fun and do your customs. She has, I don't have any more in my collection. She has the small little mini loaves. She uses the silicone molds, so that's why they don't come in little tins like other vendors have. But they slice down beautifully. In that, you get your choice of 2 cents. Equal amounts. One is the chunks and one is the overpour. If you want just one single blend, for example, if you just want to have a mini loaf of farm fresh raspberry jam, it would just be solid. There's no chunks involved. But when you have 2 blends, then you have the chunks and then the overpour. And then the other one she offers, those loaves, I think they're $8.75, but I'm not sure on that one. Her big loaves, her giant loaves, which I never actually have bought one, but I might this next time with a particular blend that I've been craving for a long time, and Dessa knows which one it is. They're $22.95, I think, and you can have 3, your choice of 3 cents with that. You have your chunks, your overpour, and then Dessa has explained it on her Facebook page because a lot of you ask this question every time. And I just read how she explains the big loaf because I don't want to confuse anybody or misspeak. The little loaf is easy because it's just 2, but I don't remember exactly how she does the percentage for the 3rd cent. So I do apologize for not having that info. So let's get into the cents. So like I said earlier, I would just suggest following along. If you have your list in front of you, cross off, have your pen ready, write down, add to, take away, all those things. I'll try to hold this up as close as I can so you can see the scent I'm talking about. But other than that, I'm just going to read these and go from there. As always, if you guys have any questions, I do see your comments. I'll be watching this one and I will reply back because I know that the sale, I should tell you that is Saturday, July 20th at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. So that's 12 noon Eastern, 11 Central, 10 Mountain, and 9 Pacific morning. So we are going to, here in Utah, each little city or town has their festival days. Ours is actually at the end of the month. A city up, or a little town actually up where my mother-in-law and my mother live, where my husband's from actually. They're having their parade and all their big festival to do on Saturday. So I will have to put my order in when I'm standing watching a parade. And I'd already told my husband I'm going to be busy for a little bit of time, so I'm not being rude. I'm just busy. And Poppy brought me her hair tie, and I can't play with her right now, so she might meow or jump up here because she gets a little jealous. So I promise, here comes the wax. Okay, the first one, almond cream baguette, house blend. I know that my camera cuts this off, but I think you guys can get the concept. Almond cream baguette. This is described as fresh crusty baguette topped with almond cream and powdered sugar. One of my all-time favorite blends that Dessa offers. If you like almond, and this does not have necessarily a cherry note to it. It is strong. So for example, if you like amaretto, or a better example really is if you've ever had amaretto coffee cream, either by International Delight or Coffee Mate years ago when they brought it out of the vault. I wish they would bring back amaretto. That is what the almond cream smells like. You can really smell the baguette. To me, this baguette smells the same that's in the fresh jam and bread, which is actually on this list too. And there's another one that she has with the baguette that I really, really like, and I can't remember the name of it right now. But you can really smell the powdered sugar. You can smell that rich, fluffy almond cream. I love this. It does benefit from a longer cure time just because I don't want to say it's a lighter scent because it's not, but it's a very creamy scent. And once it gets going, the almond and the bread and the cream, they just have a beautiful marriage, and I love that scent. It's a great blender. It's great alone. Give it a try, at least in a tile, if you're curious. This next one, Apple Crumble. Apple Crumble is a relatively new blend. It was, I don't want to say discovered, but Dessa it took her a long time to be able to find a true, authentic Apple Crumble oils. This is a blend of oils. This is described as baked apples, sweet cinnamon sugar, clove and nutmeg, decadent and buttery crumble topping, and a heaping scoop of fresh whipped vanilla cream. One of our best sellers. So just simply, if you like apple crumble, apple crisp, apple pie, anything that you can imagine that is apple pie, cinnamon, sugar, yumminess, try apple crumble. Apple crumble is very, very good. It's authentic. It's not too spicy. It's creamy. It has a little bit of sprinkling of apple pie spice. I know sometimes apple pie spice can get stinky, have that little off-putting note, those spices. I am like that with pumpkin pie spice, but not apple spice. But I have heard others say that sometimes apple pie spice is off-putting. This, I promise you, between the ice cream, whipped cream, excuse me, not ice cream, the whipped cream, the creaminess of the crumble topping, the creaminess of the apples, everything is beautiful. This is a fantastic blender too. This is a really tough list, and I have not even made my list yet because I knew I was going to do this, and I just haven't had time to sit down because I usually make my list the day before or the morning of the sale because that's just how I operate. Call it procrastination, call it strategy. I don't know what it is, but that's me. So last minute Larry, those of you that know me, last minute Larry is what I call myself. But I will say, being that this is Dessa's first pre-order since she was on hold, I would get in when she opens and get your order done right at the beginning. Don't wait because she has been known to close under an hour. So just warning you. Apple crumble is delicious. That's on my list. The next one, apple zucchini bread. Apple zucchini bread. This one's pretty simple. This is also a house blend. This is homemade apple pie and fresh zucchini bread. You know, if you're in the zucchini bread camp, you've probably had it mixed with apple before. This is just those nice, rich, creamy spices with Dessa's zucchini bread. Dessa's zucchini bread, to me, my nose, it's very creamy. It doesn't have too much of a spice to it. It doesn't have a sharpness to it that other vendors have. I actually like the sharpness. So Dessa's zucchini bread, it's good, but it's not my favorite. That's just me being honest. It's very creamy though, and she wanted to do that so she could blend it with other things that might have a little bit of a spice profile, such as pumpkin pie or apple pie or strawberry. I mean, even though strawberry doesn't have spice to it, but you know what I mean. She loves her zucchini bread oil, and a lot of you guys do too. And I like it. It's just not my favorite. I like a strong punch in the nose zucchini bread. This next one is a good one. This is Autumn Bliss Bars. This is another house blend. Cookie batter topped with chunks of fresh cranberries, autumn pears, and a drizzle of white chocolate frosting. Now, this is one that was first introduced to me in the 2022 Christmas Advent calendar that Dessa did. I don't know if she'll do one again this year, but I hope she does them again because that year I got 4 different Advent calendars from different vendors, and hers was by far my favorite. From the packaging, the detail of the shapes, the scent, the scents, the scent names, everything was absolutely cute as a button. So Autumn Bliss Bar, what it smells like to me is it has a really buttery, rich cookie batter, and you can really smell the butteriness in here. You get a little bit of pear. Pear and bakery are beautiful together. If you've never had it, this is not off-putting. It's creamy batter, creamy pear, a little bit of cranberry in there, not too much. This is not a super tart cranberry. This is not like a cranberry marmalade or cranberry sauce. It's nothing like that. And a little bit of white chocolate, which it just adds a little bit of sweetness. I don't really pick up white chocolate. I've never smelled white chocolate wax, actually. This is just, it's decadent, it's yummy, and I don't really have a lot of pear and cranberry cookie scents that I have access to. This is a really good one. This next one is Autumn Campfire. Autumn Campfire. This is one of our original house blends and always a fall favorite. A beautiful, warm, complex blend of all things fall. Pumpkin pie, baked apples, gingerbread, hot mulled cider, cinnamon and cloves, and marshmallows roasted over a campfire. I don't think I've had this one, honestly, but I'm going to get it this time because I'm a sucker for original house blends and some of the OGs. And not only that, I love gingerbread, cider, all those things, and this is going to be on my list this time. If you like all things fall, everything is in here. Cider, cinnamon, apples, pumpkin. This one's kind of a no-brainer if you're a fallaholic, like a lot of us are. This next one is Autumn Equinox, another house blend. This is a beautiful blend of beach nights, which is toasted marshmallows, sea salt breeze, and s'mores, combined with her Vanilla Voodoo. Vanilla Voodoo is another house blend. It's on the list, so when I get back to the back, Vanilla Voodoo and White Birch. So this one, if you like beach nights, Dessa has a true, authentic beach nights dupe to Bath & Body Works. If you like that with a little bit of birch, Autumn Equinox. I have not had that blend, but everybody loves her Beach Nights blends. I've only had her Beach Nights in a couple of blends. The one that had wildberry mousse in it from last time, and then just her plain. This next one is Baking Me Crazy. Baking Me Crazy is super popular. It's yummy, it's scrumptious, it's buttery, it's creamy, it's good. A delicious blend of our fresh baked bread, vanilla butter fudge, and creamy zucchini bread. So with this one, vanilla butter fudge, what that smells like, if you've never smelled it alone, if you've ever made fudge and you have to melt your butter and your sugar together and get that mixture going before you add in your chocolate, your marshmallows, etc. That mixture of cooking butter and sugar is what vanilla butter fudge smells like to me. This blend is heavy on the fresh baked bread, but it's so damn good. I warmed this. I actually, in June, I dedicated part of the month to melting nothing but Dessas because I knew this pre-order was coming up and I wanted to order a little bit, so I wanted to make a dent in my collection. Baking Me Crazy is one I grabbed right at the beginning, and I flew through that baby so quickly. This is such a good scent. Like I said, the fresh baked bread, the baguette, they're kind of similar. I'm not sure if they're the same oil, but they have similar yummy, rich, buttery profile. The zucchini bread is creamy, and she does describe it as creamy, so trust me, it's creamy. This is a very good scent. Next is Banana Harvest Bread. I've had this one before too. It's been a while, but I have had this one. This is a house blend. We have paired freshly baked banana nut bread loaded with fresh bananas, brown sugar, nuts, and a touch of ginger with bushels of juicy ripe apples picked straight from the orchard. So this one here is banana and apple. To me, this one is very banana heavy. If you love your banana nut breads or your banana breads or anything that has an authentic sweetened up caramelized banana scent, you would like this one. This next one is Beach Nights. This is a house blend. This is roasted marshmallow, sea salt breeze, and s'mores, our version of Beach Nights. So this one here, her Beach Nights smells just like Beach Nights should. I'm not sure if this is a single oil or if she combines these three together. I'm not sure. House blend usually means that she blends it on her side, whereas the ones that don't have HB in parentheses, if you're looking at your list, HB just means house blend. Main Street Memories, MSM, is her Disney-inspired line, although she doesn't say Disney, she says The Happiest Place. And then the ones with the little asterisks by it, those are new blends. So Beach Nights, it's great. You know, it's just like any other vendor, not how it smells in particular, but just it blends like a dream, and she's good at blending too. This next one, Believe. is fresh baked cinnamon rolls drizzled with vanilla frosting, warm cookies, and a forest of Fraser fir, another house blend. I've had this one before. This one's pretty much cinnamon rolls with a little bit of fir, Fraser fir, pine. I didn't really get too much pine from this. It's mostly just creamy, rich cinnamon rolls. If you're looking for a cinnamon roll scent, though, I would highly suggest a blend I'm going to talk about here on the next coming pages. That is the best cinnamon roll scent that I think I've had from any vendor. But the vanilla frosting is on here, the fir, the pine is there. It's just a light, and you have the creamy sugar cookies too. This next one is new. This is Black Hat Society. Fresh baked oatmeal cookies, creamy oat milk, sweet brown sugar, and marshmallow fireside. This one here, I anticipate would be, she has a really good oat milk cookie oil. And oat milk, creamy oat milk, if you've had spiced oat milk from other vendors, just think of the creaminess that's there and not so much the little bit of spice that's in spiced oat milk. Just think about the richness that it offers. Brown sugar and marshmallow fireside. This one, I think, is just going to be like a nice warm cookie out of the oven with a little bit of milk. That's my opinion. This next one is also a new blend. This is Blankets and Bonfires. Warm roasted pine cones sweetened with creamy oat milk, cranberry jam, and a hint of winter fireside. This one's definitely on my list because Dessa got her pine cone oil and she's got several new blends on here with it. And I have not had pine cones and cranberry, so I'm very intrigued by this one. The oat milk is there to lend a little bit of creaminess, and then the winter fireside. This one I think will be really, really good. I'm at least gonna get a tile size of it because I just absolutely love any pine cone scent. I know a lot of you guys do too. This one is that's gonna be a good one. This next one, Bobbin for Apples. Bobbin for Apples is a house blend. I've had this one before. It's delicious. Apple cider donuts meet caramel apple meet bourbon butterscotch. So bourbon butterscotch is a single oil, as is apple cider donuts, as is caramel apple. So if you love all three of those, this is your heavy apple cider donut caramel situation. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's a good one though. It's nice and rich and heavy apple. Dessa is very good at fall scents, but she excels at apple. Just my opinion. All of her apples, I absolutely love her apple blends because she has a very versatile, range of apple oils. It's not just green apple or Mac apple like some vendors have. She's good at apple. This next one is Bonfire of the Pumpkin. This is a warm blend of fire-roasted pumpkins, toasted marshmallows, and a hint of smoky firewood. I have not had this one, but I would think it would be like pumpkin firewood or pumpkin bonfire from Bath & Body Works. I'm not sure if that's exactly what this is, but if you've ever had any of those scents, it has a little bit of, I don't want to necessarily say a marshmallow fireside because that's sticky and a little bit of smoky. This, I think, would have a little bit more of a smoky charred effect to it with that pumpkin. I'll have to ask her if this is pumpkin bonfire Bath & Body Works because it seems like it would be to me, but I'm not sure. Moving on, this next one is a new blend. This is Book of Shadows. Sweet blackberries are blended with Bonfire Bliss, sweet and creamy oat milk, and warm cedar wood chips. I know a lot of you guys go crazy over Bonfire Bliss. I bet this one's going to be popular because blackberry's popular, Bonfire Bliss, a little bit of creaminess with a little bit of cedar wood. Cedar's my favorite wood. I love it. I might get a tile of this just because sometimes blackberry sometimes can be a little medicinal to me. I'm not saying that this is. I'm just saying for me in particular. But if you love blackberry and Bonfire Bliss is just okay to me. It's not one that I'm gaga for. But she has a very good cedar oil, and I'm really intrigued by that creamy oat milk. So maybe I'll get a tile of this. Yeah, I think so. This next one is Brimstone and Broomsticks. This is a delicious blend of snickerdoodle cookies and hot apple cider. So snickerdoodle cookies, I'm just going to show you every few times here so it doesn't get redundant. Snickerdoodle cookies is just cinnamon sugar cookies, basically, with a little bit of apple cider. So apple cider with a little bit of extra cinnamon sugar. This one I've had before. In the past, Dessa has, in the fall and winter, Dessa has done little cutesy shapes of fall and Christmas inspired things. I don't think she has the time this year because she would have offered it in this one because this is the fall pre-order, but she's really, her basement was just finished and she's still unpacking boxes ready to go. She's going to send me some pictures once it's all done in the next couple of days. Her and her husband are working feverishly to get everything ready to go. She would offer these, I don't want to call them souffles, they're not, but they're just shapes. You guys who've been shopping with Dessa a while, you know what I'm talking about. But for example, I think she had brimstone and broomsticks, or maybe witches fly at night last year, and it was a mold of a witch on her broomstick, and that was that one. And then the firewood one, she had a picture of a bonfire with the wood and the flames, and she took the time to color all the different ones in with different wax, and it's just beautiful works of art. I don't have any more, and I wouldn't want to show it on camera because she's not going to be offering that. But she might do that for Christmas. I don't know. I'll see what she has planned for Christmas time. But just think about cider and snickerdoodles. This next one has my heart. I absolutely love this. I recommend it to everybody who likes bakery and anybody who asks which one is a good one all the time. Burnt sugar cake, baby. Burnt sugar cake. Oh my God. It's phenomenal. An old-fashioned baked from scratch cake that goes back to colonial times. Burnt sugar syrup is caramelized and burnt in a cast iron skillet, then baked into a homemade cake batter and topped with burnt sugar frosting. So, don't let burnt scare you. Burnt just means it's caramel. It's caramelized. And it's got such a rich, heavy, buttery caramel presence. I definitely have this on my list for customs. Definitely, Miss Dessa knows which blends, and I might have a few up my sleeve that I haven't revealed to her yet. But burnt sugar cake, it throws beautifully, it lasts a long time, it blends beautifully, but it is strong enough to stand alone. If you like bakery, and you like caramel, and you like buttery, ooey gooey, fattening goodness, burnt sugar cake is your friend. This next one's on my list. It's a new blend. This is Butter Pecan Latte. A hot cup of fresh brewed robust coffee loaded with buttery pecan creamer and topped with crushed butter brickle toffee bits. So, butter brickle. Butter brickle, I don't always care for sometimes because it can be a little bit too something. I don't know exactly what term to use. But I've also seen some of you guys say, butter brickle, I don't like butter brickle. It's whatever. I'm curious with this one because it does have that coffee. I don't know what coffee oil she's using, whether it's her black coffee that she uses for Coffee on Main, which is coming up on this list, or if it's a new coffee, I'm not sure. But I'm really intrigued by that buttery pecan creamer. I've had butter pecan creamer from International Delight. It's delicious. It's not out here anymore in Utah. Just like my amaretto isn't out here anymore in Utah, or my creme brulee, but that's another story, coffee creamer conversation. I really am interested because if you think about it, coffee and caramel and butter pecan and just that richness just go beautifully hand in hand together. So this one, no doubt, is on my list. This next one is Candy Cane Forest. This is another house blend. Sweet candy canes and creamy vanilla bean Noel are surrounded by a forest of pine trees, previously named Holly Jubilee. Okay, so I think I had this one as Candy Cane Forest. I'm pretty sure it was in the Advent calendar from a few years ago. This one is just vanilla candy cane with pine. I think every vendor does a rendition of this every holiday season, and it's fantastic. If you're looking for something simple to set the mood at Christmas time, or warm when you're having a party at Christmas time, or just whenever you want to feel in the Christmas mood in the middle of July, Christmas in July, go for Candy Cane Forest. Okay, another new one coming up. Candy Corn Campfire Cupcakes. Rich and decadent cupcakes at Tiffany's, topped with candy corn bits and background notes of a warm campfire. So her cupcakes at Tiffany's is the traditional cupcakes at Tiffany's. It smells just like any other vendor's cupcakes at Tiffany's. The only thing that I'm curious about really is that candy corn, because I've had some candy corn oils that I just don't care for, and some candy cane oils that are buttery and delicious and rich and yummy. So this one here, I don't really know what to suggest with this one. I don't particularly care for a ton of Cupcakes at Tiffany's blends. If it's in something I really like that it's what it's blended with, I'll try it. But for me, it's just okay. But I know a lot of you guys love it. I mean, it's a great blender, I feel. It's not enough for me as a standalone Cupcakes at Tiffany's, but I know I'm in the minority on that. Most of you guys do like Cupcakes at Tiffany's. The Warm Campfire, I think this will just be a nice, I don't know if it's going to be a marshmallow fireside situation, but it's going to be a good one because Dessa's really good at blending. I will say that. This next one I've had many times. I buy it every time, but I think I have 4 breakaway bars of this upstairs, so maybe I won't this time. This is Carnival. Carnival came out, I think, last year. Gooey caramel apples, fresh popped kettle corn, sweet cotton candy, and our fabulous circus concession. I actually might buy this one again. It is delicious. It's one of the best circus concession caramel apple, ooey gooey, sticky cotton candy blends you want. It's strong, it lasts a long time, it throws a long time. You can blend it with anything. It's fantastic. So if you like carnival scents, this one should be a no-brainer if you're on the fence with it. This next one is one of her best sellers, bar none, across the board, Christmas time, fall time, spring, or winter time. This is chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Blend of chestnuts and brown sugar, sugar cookies, and marshmallow fireside, one of our best sellers. And for good reason. This is such a great, creamy, rich, yummy, irresistible scent. The chestnuts and brown sugar are there for nuttiness and sweetness. You have your sugar cookies and your marshmallow fireside. I'm out of this blend actually, so I've got to grab a couple of these. If you're like, oh, I don't know what chestnuts smells like. Chestnuts is just a creamy, rich nut. It's not like anything you've ever smelled before. It's not a walnut. It's not a cashew. It's not an almond. It's definitely not a peanut. It just has a little bit of a creaminess to it and sweetened up with brown sugar. This next one is new. This is Christmas movie season. Fresh winter balsam is blended with cider lane in our sweet cinnamon streusel topping and fire roasted marshmallows. So cider lane is from Bath & Body Works, and that's blended with pine. I don't think I've ever had cider lane with pine. So this one is pretty intriguing to me. Dessa really does know her pine too. Her pine is delicious, and all the pines, not just pine, but Fraser or what's some of the other oils there are. I can't think right now. Spruce and things like that. But I'm gonna try this one because I haven't had her cider lane, believe it or not. Actually, that's not true. I have had it. It's been a couple of years. Okay, this next one is highly anticipated by some of the OGs of the group. This is Christmas Tree. Close your eyes and you are in the middle of a forest of Christmas trees. The nostalgic scent of a fresh cut pine and Fraser fir. This is our original Christmas tree blend. Sign me up. Even though pine isn't my favorite wood, I actually like pine cones a little bit better. It's softer and creamier. I definitely am buying this Christmas tree because I had her Christmas tree, her pine scent last year, and I don't remember what the blend is called, but it's all of her pine oils together, and it is just it's glorious. I like to reserve this to warm Christmas week. I have a cat, so I can't have a big, large Christmas tree, and I certainly can't have a live tree because she would probably make a nest in it or bring a bird in or something like that. So even though she doesn't go outside, I don't trust my cat with stuff like that. So I like to warm my pine scents for Christmas week just to set the mood, the ambiance, and the coziness of the Christmas season or holiday season. This next one I've had too. This is Cinderella's Pumpkin Carriage. Now this is a house blend and her Main Street Memories collection. So Cinderella's Pumpkin Carriage. Warm pumpkin, gooey caramel sauce, buttery bear claw, waffle cone, and Bavarian cream. Yum. Now this one here, to me, it's creamy buttery caramel and bear claw with a little bit of creaminess of the pumpkin. I wouldn't necessarily say this is a pumpkin spice because it's not. It's creamy. It's similar to the creaminess that Fall in New England has. Even if that's a coffee blend, just the creamy profile, the richness profile is similar in Pumpkin Carriage. The bear claw, it's not too cinnamony, it's not too raisiny, it's just a nice thick rich batter. And you have the custard in there, and that's a good one. Okay, this next one, when I talked about cinnamon roll, this is Cinnabon. Now I'll just tell you right now, everyone, I think most of us, at least in this country, have been to the mall and been to the food court and smelled Cinnabon. I haven't had a Cinnabon in years, but I told my husband the next time I go to the airport, and I'm not flying a red eye, I usually have to fly a red eye when I fly back to Pennsylvania, I'm getting myself a Cinnabon. A real one. I'll eat the sugar, I'll do whatever I have to do. I want a Cinnabon. So, I don't know how Dessa did this, but this premiered last year or the year before. Cinnabon. And it shot up to the top as one of her best sellers because we are all carbaholics. We all love sweets and sugars, and a lot of us are heavy bakery melters. It just is what it is. So Cinnabon, you can't get much more authentic than this new blend. It's not a new blend, but it's a newer blend. This scent smells exactly like the center of a fresh baked, big fat, doughy cinnamon roll with cream cheese frosting. Heavy on the dough, light on the cinnamon. One of our best sellers. That's the perfect description because the middle part of the cinnamon roll, the yummy, squishy, gooey, greasy part where all the icing congeals in there and just where all of that yumminess lies, that's what this smells like. And it's one of the first ones I warm when I get an order from Dessa because I just love the freshness of it, and I love how it makes my house smell like the mall food court for a minute. And it's delicious and yummy and not too cinnamony. It's cinnamon sugar at that. Just think about the Cinnabon. It's a cinnamon roll. Who doesn't love a warm cinnamon roll? It's like I think it's part of our psyche that we're supposed to like cinnamon rolls. So try Cinnabon. I promise you, it's a fantastic blender if you choose to blend with it, but it's more than enough to warm alone. So that's Cinnabon. This next one is Circus Under the Stars. We have blended our Palo Santo with Circus Concession. All I can say is wow. I've had this one before too. So Circus Concession, going back to Carnival, is the apple and the cotton candy and the caramel and the sticky. She just blends it with Palo Santo to give a little bit of richness to it. Excuse me, a little bit of richness, a little bit of sultriness, a little bit of woodsiness to it. This next one is great too. I've had this one. This is Coastal Forest Pacific Northwest, where the ocean meets the forest in the Pacific Northwest. Ocean mist, sea salt, fresh balsam, pine cones, and warm driftwood. This blend has been revised slightly to tone down the pine, to bring even more of the fresh to the top. I love that. This blend was great before, but I'm definitely going to try this one because I want to see how she adds the pine cone and the mist and the sea salt and all of those yumminess. If you like tree blends, if you like fresh blends, this could be one that you blend with. When you're making your customs, you are limited to the ones that she has on her pre-order menu. You can't use oils that she might have but doesn't have it on her menu, if that makes sense. Because I know I've seen some of you guys ask that question this week. This, you could blend this with, there's a couple that I'm thinking of. I wouldn't, let me think here. Maybe when I get to it, I could give some more suggestions that way. But Coastal Forest Pacific Northwest, it's a refreshing blend. This next one, Coffee House Cobbler, another house blend. Fresh brewed robust coffee is blended with our sweet blueberry cobbler. I love blueberry in coffee. Some people don't, but a lot of us do. and it's self-explanatory. It's blueberry and coffee. It's very good. Dessa has a robust, that's the perfect adjective to use. It's robust, it's a black cup of coffee. It's perfect. This next one is phenomenal. This is Coffee on Main. Always our first stop in the morning when entering the park. Step through the market house doors and you are instantly met with that familiar and amazing scent of freshly ground beans and strong brewed Starbucks coffee. This is part of her Main Street Memories collection. This is black coffee. It's just straight black coffee. I'm not sure if it's coffee bean. I haven't smelled this alone in a while. I particularly blend this one with fresh farm fresh raspberry jam. Phenomenal, delicious, perfection, I should say. Yummy, incredible. Coffee, you can blend like crazy. Cinnamon and coffee. Coffee house cobbler with additional coffee. Fall in New England and coffee. Burnt sugar cake and coffee. If you love coffee, I'm a coffee fan in my life, and I drink espresso, I drink instant coffee sometimes, I brew coffee. I love coffee in all forms. I love coffee ice cream. I love coffee, vanilla ice cream with black coffee poured over top. I love coffee, so I love coffee wax. I know some of you guys don't, but those of us that do, you know what I mean. It touches a part of the adult part of us that drinks coffee. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, I hated coffee. And I would tell my parents, I'm never going to drink coffee. And my dad would say, yes, you will. And Dad was right. So, okay, this next one is new. And this one's going to be a popular one I already know because it's a By the Fireplace. By the Fireplace's replica. Okay, Cozy Nights by the Fireplace. Our version of Replica by the Fireplace. If you know the perfume, then you most certainly know. It's complex, gourmand, sultry, warm, and nutty. Slightly sweet with a subtle smoky background. This scent is a mood. Put on your pajamas, curl up by a fire with a good book, and enjoy the experience. The way that Dessa described this, I'm just going to leave it at that. If you haven't smelled By the Fireplace, there's absolutely no way to really put it in words. Try a tile of it. If you are not sure, just try a tile. Warm it. Soak it in. Just smell it. Or go to Sephora where they have Replica. Smell the perfume. If you have time between now and Saturday. So I'm just going to leave that one at that. This next one I've had, this is Creaky Cauldron. A blend of Cider Lane and pumpkin pecan waffles with a hint of Fireside. So I have had her Cider Lane before. It's good, true, authentic BBW dupe. This basically is just pumpkin pecan waffles and Cider Lane. I didn't get too much Mallow Fireside, but this one is a quintessential fall. It's Cider Lane and pumpkin pecan waffles. This next one is Dickens Winter Cider. Sit by the fire while sipping a steaming cup of cider filled with mulled apples, mandarin oranges, tart cranberry, and mulling spices. This one was offered last year, and I think I checked it off my list. I didn't grab it, but I do remember her Dickens cider. This one is just pretty self-explanatory. If you like wassail or apple cider, mulling spices, those warm, cozy feelings, this one's for you. Donut Be Afraid, a fall classic. Fried apple cider donuts, generously sprinkled with cinnamon sugar. Simple, to the point, apple donut with cinnamon sugar. What's not to love? That would be good with coffee too. This next one, Fall Foliage, House Blend. There is a chill in the air. The leaves are changing and it is beginning to feel like fall. The dewy scent of earthy autumn leaves after the rain and the warmth of crackling logs on the fire fill the brisk outdoor air. Now, if this one doesn't describe outdoorsy fall, I don't know what else will. Maybe sweater weather, but I don't know if she has any sweater weather on this list. I, believe it or not, have never had fall foliage, but that's going to change because it's on my list. Just think about think about Leaves, Bath and Body Works, and add a little bit of rain to it, a little bit of smoking firewood. Maybe not as smoky as firewood is, but just go with go with it. That damp weather when it's raining in the fall, but it's not quite cold enough to snow, but it's those summer days are gone, and you have the football weather, the hoodie weather, the leaves, just all those things that we love about fall foliage. I'm at 49 minutes. Okay. Fall in New England. Oh my God. Fall in New England. Okay. This one is a coffee blend, but people who do not like coffee love this blend because Dessa has found a way to blend beautifully her gorgeous caramel and pumpkin with her coffee. This one is described as a warm and comforting blend enjoyed during the fall season. A fresh brewed latte loaded with buttery pumpkin puree and nutty caramel, with a side of sweet cinnamon streusel, one of our best sellers. Guys, if you're in doubt, just get a tile. Just do it. I buy this every time it's available. It's good all year long, all 365 days, 366 if it's a leap year. Morning, noon, night, it's a fantastic blend because you just think about, a lot of us like PSLs, pumpkin spice lattes. Some of us like apple cider. Some of us like coffee. Put them all together. And this is just creamy. It's rich. If you've ever had, one of my favorite Starbucks coffees is the pumpkin cold foam, or the pumpkin cold brew with the pumpkin foam on top. You know what I'm talking about. That is my favorite. I love the richness. You can actually, one of my old girlfriends I used to work with would make it at home. And I've made it once, and it's kind of tedious to make because you have to make it fresh every day. But it's really, really good. You can even make a pumpkin sauce. It's just, caramel and pumpkin just go hand in hand beautifully together. The latte isn't overpowering. It's not, like I said, it's non-coffee lovers coffee blend. Now this next one has my heart too. Farm Fresh Raspberry Jam. Took her long time to find this raspberry oil. She's been looking for years. This debuted last time, and I grabbed 2 customs with it because I knew I would love the hell out of it, and I have. And I do. And Dessa even told me when she was making my custom that those are pretty darn good scents, Ashley. They're really good together. My 2 were Burnt Sugar Cake and Farm Fresh Raspberry Jam, and Coffee on Main and Farm Fresh Raspberry Jam. I love those 2. I'll never get tired of it. There's just something with this raspberry. This is sweet, slightly tart fresh raspberry jam made from red raspberries picked fresh from the farm and sweet sugar. This is the most authentic raspberry I've ever smelled. There are no floral notes, one of our best sellers. Now, I'm going to say this because I can. This is my video. But if you've ever smelled Vintage Chic's raspberry or Second and Spruce raspberry, this is that raspberry. Dessa has found the raspberry. I actually like Dessa's a little bit more because it just, the way that her wax formula is, and the way that this can stand alone certainly on its own, but it's beautiful with bakery. It's beautiful with coffee. You could even blend it with other fruits. This is such a good blend. And try a tile. Like I said, if I know raspberry is scary for some people, just like cherry is scary. But trust me, this raspberry is authentic. It's not floral. It's yummy, delicious. Smucker's preserves out of the jar. This is my childhood with peanut butter. Really good. Fireflies. Fireflies bring magic to summer nights. We do not have fireflies in Utah. I told my husband last night on our walk to look out into a field and not see fireflies is very strange to me because I grew up with fireflies in the east in Pennsylvania. I used to go out at night and catch them and rip their butts off and put them on our fingers as rings, you know, before we understand what we're doing. At least I did when I was a kid. Warm cedar wood, damp night air, campfire smoke, and the gentle sweetness of roasting marshmallows are combined to create this magical blend, one of our best sellers. So this one here is just how it says. You have a campfire, it's kind of smoldering out, you have a little bit of cedar, you have dampness in the air, you need to get a jacket or a hoodie. This is just those summer nights that we want to last forever, fireflies. Fresh bread and jam. This is one of her top sellers. So darn good. Fresh baked crusty bread, straight from the oven, slathered with sweet strawberry jam. Okay, if this is one you're not sure about, please put it on your list in at least a tile form. If you like strawberry jam and you like bread, it doesn't get any better than this in terms of a bakery strawberry. It is so, so, so stinking good. I have one of my very first experiences with Dessa's wax. My fellow wax friend, Jenny Dominguez, sent me a random act of kindness a couple of years ago and put a breakaway bar of fresh bread and jam in my box. And I warmed it, and I haven't been without that blend since. I have a couple upstairs, and now that I know that it's on the list, I mean, I knew some of these blends that were coming back before she announced her list. This is one that she'll never have a list without because this is just one of her top sellers. It's delicious. It's yummy. It's sweet, creamy, yummy. I can't say yummy enough. Georgia peach. This is my husband's scent. Georgia peach. Just like cutting into a fresh peach pulled straight from the peach tree. So authentic and delicious. This is the best peach scent I've smelled in all wax vendors. I know peach sometimes can smell like cat pee and a little bit rancid to people. This is a very authentic peach. It doesn't smell like peach candy. It doesn't smell like fake peach. This is peach season's coming up. I can't wait. Peach season. Just like you're eating a peach and the juice is dripping down your hand and you just smell the fresh, authentic peach, that's this. I will give you a piece of advice. If you choose to blend peach with anything, just be prepared for it to mostly smell like peach because this is a very, very strong oil. When Dessa pours this, it smells in her house for days of peach. I know that because I complimented her last year or the year before when I first got this peach. And every time I warmed it, my husband told me, I really like that peach. I really like that peach every time. So whenever this is offered, she doesn't offer it all the time. But whenever this one's offered, I always get a couple of them because my husband loves peach. And I don't always melt things for myself. Sometimes I melt stuff for him. So, but it's really good too. This next one is another one that I absolutely adore. That's one of her holiday blends. This is Gingerbread House. I love gingerbread, and I love a spicy gingerbread, and this is a spicy gingerbread. Fresh from the oven, spicy homemade fresh gingerbread blended with ground cinnamon, fresh vanilla bean, ginger, and sticky molasses. I buy this every time it's available. If you like the strong, spicy, authentic gingerbread, this one is for you. I've blended with this with coffee. I've had this with raspberry. I've had this with lemon. I've had this with caramel. It is a beautiful, authentic gingerbread scent. I might even buy a loaf of it this time because I always say I'm going to, and I usually just buy a big bar of it. But it throws well. It is traditional, spicy gingerbread. It's one of the best I've had. Graveyard Mist. This is a new one. This is an earthy atmospheric scent of petrichor, which is after the rain, wet grass, fresh soil, wind-blown leaves, raw cedar wood, and subtle notes of smoked vanilla. This one has my name all over it because if you know me, you know I like the dirt and the rain and the grass and all of those outdoorsy things. Petrichor is a very strong scent. It is the smell of the earth, the dirt after it rains. And sometimes it smells like potting soil to me. If it's blended with something, I have never had it blended with anything. But I've had Dessa's Petrichor a couple of years ago. She offered it. And it smells, if you've ever had Teddy B's Petrichor, it smells like that. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be saying it wrong, but that's how I say it in my house. The leaves, the cedar, this is just going to be a yummy, outdoorsy, damp, spooky, Halloweeny experience. Haunted Carnival. Deep fried apple fritters, churros rolled in cinnamon sugar, fresh pretzels slathered in butter, and apples dipped in gooey caramel sauce. This blend has been reformulated due to a discontinued oil. While slightly different from the original, this version is amazing. This one's on my list because I got this and I used it all up and I miss it because this is good. Now, Dessa has really good pretzel oil. One of my favorite pretzel blends of hers is Naughty Pretzel, and I don't think it's on this list this year. Naughty pretzel. Her pretzel with butter and caramel is delicious. Churros, apple fritters, all these things together. It's basically like her carnival with a little bit of churro added in, and then the haunted to make it, spooky for the season. That's on my list. Haunted hayride. Fall is in the air. Take a ride on a hayride on a chilly fall evening. Surround yourselves with scents of sweet hay, crisp leaves, mac apples, and hints of cinnamon. I've had this one before. It's good. It's not too heavy on the hay. Those of you who don't like hay, it's just there. Your mac apple and your cinnamon and your leaves are there just to evoke a beautiful fall feeling. I love hay. I can't get enough, but hay is not too dominant in this one. Holiday eggnog. Very, very good, authentic, creamy vanilla eggnog. A favorite holiday tradition, a rich and indulgent creamy concoction of Nana's homemade eggnog with a touch of rum and nutmeg. Cheers. So I still have a big bar of this upstairs. When I warm it, it just has the slightest touch of nutmeg and a little bit of rum. It's not super boozy at all. I don't particularly like boozy eggnog scents. I'm more vanilla. Even though sometimes, eggnog is hard. But Dessa has a really good, authentic, eggy eggnog, if you know what I mean. I love eggnog. It's so good. Eggnog and coffee go together good too. I like an eggnog that has just the slightest hit of nutmeg. I've had spiked eggnog before, and it's just okay to me. And warming it, sometimes I find the boozy note overpowers the eggnog. And when we're warming the eggnog, we really want that vanilla eggnog to shine and the richness of the egg yolks and the custard and such. At least that's what I'm looking for when I'm looking for a creamy eggnog scent. This one is a good one. Try a tile if you are on the fence. Homestead Holiday. This is a new blend. We have blended our roasted pine cones with sugary cinnamon streusel and ooey gooey marshmallows. So she describes her pine cones as fresh pine cone, a hint of sweet vanilla, a whisper of smokiness, and a subtle forest backdrop with sugary cinnamon streusel and ooey gooey marshmallows. So I'm just sitting back here. Roasted pine cones, cinnamon, and how does she describe it? Marshmallows. I think this would be good. Her cinnamon streusel it's not too cinnamony. It's not too spicy. It's just a nice cinnamon sugar touch. I think this would be really good. Anything blended with pine cones is good, in my opinion. Honey butter cornbread. Fresh cornbread baked in a cast iron skillet, smothered with a dollop of butter and sweet honey. This one is fantastic because I've had her cornbread before. It's authentic, nice, rich, grainy, yummy cornbread. And her butter and sweet honey. She has, I can't remember the name of the blend, but it's honey, it's not honey buttered rolls, but it's one where she was trying to do the Texas Roadhouse honey butter roll situation. But it's not honey butter rolls oil. I'm pretty sure it's not. This butter and honey butter is good. So this one is a new one. I'm just trying to think what this one would smell like. But if you've had cornbread and you like cornbread, I know not everybody likes cornbread. I think this one would be really good. You could blend this with blueberry, with cranberry, with coffee. You could put coffee with anything, really. At least in my world. Hoodie season. We have paired our Palo sugared streusel, which is Palo Santo, sweet cinnamon streusel, and powdered sugar donut with leaves. This is an amazing blend. Leaves is Bath & Body Works, one of my favorite. This is capture the essence and warmth of autumn with a rich blend of crisp red apples, golden nectar, and spiced berries. So I love leaves. Dessa has a really good leaves oil. I think I made a custom a few years ago of leaves and bobbin for apples or Apple Barn. Maybe it was Apple Barn. Apple Barn wasn't on here this year. But anyways, that nice heavy apple blended with leaves, which is basically what this is, except it's with Palo Santo and cinnamon with leaves. I think this would be really good. That's just going to accent the cinnamon that's in leaves. I smell a little bit of cinnamon, but it's mostly that rich golden apple and a little bit of donut. I think this one would be good. I love leaves. Kaleidoscope New Blend. A bright and fruity concoction of sweet cotton candy, cantaloupe, honeydew, and fresh watermelon with fizzy effervescence. So this one here is melon soda, basically. If you like fizzy, this is your fizzy. I think this is the only fizzy blend on the list here. This is a new one, so I don't know what this one would be like, but just all of these sweetness together, all of those with fizzy. This next one is Candace's. This is Key Lime Strawberry Sugar Cookies. This was a customer creation winner last year by Candace Stallings. This is a sweet and tart key lime custard, strawberry pound cake, and sugar cookies. Candace loves her key lime pie and her strawberry pound cake. So when I saw this blend, I thought that's classic Candace. This one is good. I have this one. It passed the nose test of my husband, who is not a key lime person. But the strawberry pound cake is creamy and rich, and it blends perfectly with that key lime custard and an extra hit of sugar cookie. That's a good one. Candace did a really good job with putting those together. This next one is delicious too. This is La Patisserie. Fresh from the oven pastry dough, caramelized sugar, sweet buttercream, sweet cinnamon, and rich vanilla. Now, La Patisserie I've had. La Patisserie is good. La Patisserie has a little bit of cinnamon in it. So if you're sensitive to cinnamon, it's not hot tamales spicy cinnamon, but the cinnamon is there. You know, when you're making cinnamon rolls, even though you're mixing that cinnamon with sugar and making a paste and rubbing it on the dough, you still have that heavy cinnamon. So this is a strong bakery blend. You have the caramelized sugar that's there. You have the buttercream, but that cinnamon is there. Just warning you, because I know that cinnamon is tough for some people. But it's delicious. It could go good with coffee. It could go good with burnt sugar cake. It could go good with raspberry. I mean, it just, if you are getting accustomed, just go for it, you know? Lakeside. Crisp and refreshing, cool air, earthy driftwood, and a hint of apple. A Bath & Body Works Lakeside Morning duplication. I haven't had Lakeside Morning for a few years, but I do remember it's kind of a little bit of a masculine apple, not cologne, but just an outdoorsy, fresh, kind of like a freshly showered man, but not cologne, if that makes sense. Lemonlicious. This is a fantastic lemon blend. We have created an explosion of lemon goodness. Lemon cheesecake, lemon sugar cookies, lemon cream puffs, and lemon buttercream. If you like lemon, it doesn't get any more lemon than this. This is as good as you're going to get. I think this is the only lemon blend on the list too. Lemonlicious is creamy, rich lemon bakery. That's all there is to it. Magical Journey. This is from Disney Collection and House Blend, previously known as Journey Over Pandora. Fasten your seatbelt as you soar across the tops of waterfalls, glide over the ocean, and through an exotic rainforest while on the back of a magical banshee. This Flight of Passage-inspired blend captures the essence of fresh aquatic notes, cool sea breeze, wisps of sweet citrus paired with hints of moss and damp earth. I have not had this blend. Other vendors have it too. One in particular is not open right now, but I haven't had this. I'm going to give this a try. I know a lot of you guys like this blend, this Pandora blend. I'm going to give it a try. I don't know why I haven't before, but it's I believe this, I'm pretty sure, another thing, if you liked Banshee Flight from Sassy Girl Aroma, I'm pretty sure this is the same oil. Pretty sure. So, it's got that greenery to it. I actually, I've had Sassy Girls, but this one I haven't had, so I'm going to try it. But moss and earth and aquatic, this is fresh and clean and just like that ride. I haven't been to Disney World since I was in high school, so I haven't ridden this one. I'm assuming it's at Disney World. Maybe it's at Disneyland, but my husband's never been to Disney World. He's only been to Disneyland because, growing up here in Utah, everybody flocks to Disneyland. Everybody does. I've been to Disney World twice. I have no interest in going to Disneyland. And I don't mean to poo-poo on it. I'm not. But I've been to the motherland. I've been to Epcot and all of those things, and it doesn't get better than that for me. So I'll have to, we're thinking about maybe in the next few years going to Disney World, but we're not sure. Magical Journey. Sorry, I went off on a tangent. This next one is a good one. This is Main Street Christmas. This is a Main Street Memory Collection, Disney. Step back in time as you stroll down Main Street during Christmas season. Christmas trees in store windows, lanterns adorned with wreaths and bows, and twinkling lights set the scene. Tart cranberries, bayberries, crushed cinnamon, and orange zest with a background of freshly cut pine trees. It doesn't get more Christmas than that. I've had this before. This is a quintessential Christmas scent. It's got a little bit of everything. You can smell the cranberry, you can smell the orange, the pine. If you like I don't want to call this a generic Christmas scent because it's not. But if you walk into any store, craft store or department store, anything where all of the potpourri and the cinnamon pine cones and all those things are out, this is kind of on that avenue, if that makes sense. This next one's a new one. Maple Crunch Pancakes. Oh man. Delicious fluffy pancakes loaded with rich butter, maple syrup, and topped with crunchy caramelized walnuts. This one's already going to be in a custom with coffee on Main. I already know. I love pancakes and coffee. Yeah, this one just sounds exactly like it. Just think about that short stack or the big ass stack, whatever you want to call it, of pancakes with butter and all of that sugary maple syrup and a little bit of walnuts. I love blueberry pancakes. It doesn't get any better than that for me. So this just seems to be delicious. November vibes. A warm and cozy blend of sweet cider lane paired with outdoor leaves, charred cedarwood, warm amber, smoked sandalwood, and gooey toasted marshmallows. So cider wood made a little bit more outdoorsy. That's what I think this one would be like. I haven't had this blend before, but Dessa does really well at outdoor fall blends too. And Cider Lane, if you love Cider Lane, I actually kind of burnt myself out on Cider Lane the last couple of years, so I'm taking it easy, but I will buy a few select blends. I'm interested in how the sandalwood and the amber will play into this. If it makes it a little bit more outdoorsy, that's what I'm hoping for. Nutcracker Sweet. If you are looking for a sweeter gingerbread blend, this one's for you. A delicious blend of fresh from the oven gingerbread cookies, buttery sugar cookies, cinnamon rolls, gingerbread honey cakes, and sweet vanilla frosting. So I've had this one too. If you are not a spicy gingerbread person, this one is the one you want because it has the integrity of gingerbread. It just has that sharpness of the ginger taken out of it. So if you like that sharpness like me, then Gingerbread House is the one that you want. But if you like a sweeter one, a more subtle gingerbread, Nutcracker Sweet, trust me, that's the run for you. October, this one's great too. The quintessential scents that we all love with the arrival of October. This comforting blend is bursting with fresh apple cider infused with a gentle background of sweet caramel, pumpkin pie, cinnamon, and spicy cloves. This is another quintessential fall. It's got a little bit of everything. I have had October before, so the one that's at the beginning, which I think it's Autumn Campfire, I'm going to try that one this time because it's got a little bit of gingerbread in it and apples, and this one has cider and caramel and pumpkin pie. I think they're a little similar. The one Autumn Campfire might have a little bit more spice to it, which is what I'm particularly looking for. Orange Grove. This is a nice one too. Fresh, squeezed, zesty, juicy oranges picked from the Orange Grove. You can even smell the peels. That's true. If you love a nice pop, true, authentic, not necessarily orange juice, but just like cutting into an orange, Orange Grove is for you. Orange Grove would be good. You could even blend Orange Grove with the Christmas tree because pine and orange go great together. You could blend it even with the Pacific Northwest one, whatever it was called back in here. You know which one I'm talking about if you're following along. Coastal Forest Pacific Northwest. You could even put orange in with that. I've had this alone. It's strong. It lasts for hours. Palo sugared streusel. Palo Santo, sugared cinnamon streusel, and powdered sugar donut. So this one here I've had before. It's Palo Santo Bakery with a little bit of cinnamon. This next one is Perfectly Christmas. Fresh cut pine, sweet cinnamon sugar, and toasted marshmallows. A Bath & Body Works perfect Christmas duplication. This is great. It is truly the perfect Christmas. I don't know if it's a single oil. I don't think there is a dupe oil out there. I just think it took Dessa a while to get the amounts right of those 3 oils. I've had this one before. If you like a perfect Christmas, give this one a try. Pumpkin cream cold brew. This is a new one. Iced cold brewed coffee, sweetened with oat milk and topped with pumpkin cream cold foam. There we go. There's my Starbucks drink that I love so much. Even though I don't get too much pumpkin in it, I think the pumpkin in here is just going to be there for creaminess, for richness. When you have that smooth cold brew coffee, it doesn't have that I don't want to call coffee bitter, but it has a little bit of bitterness to it if you get a true black cup of coffee. It just the nature of the bean. Why we put cream in coffee, with a little bit of oat milk, a little bit of sugar. That one is on my list, absolutely. Pumpkin Potion, a delicious house blend of pumpkin puree, sweet pumpkin oat milk, Nana's pie crust, and a light dusting of pumpkin spices. This one's on my list, even though it has pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice and I aren't always friends. This one, I love pie crust, I love oat milk, I love pumpkin puree. This is going to be my pumpkin pie one for this year. It's a new one, but I have no problem with it being a good one because I know the Dessa is not going to make the pumpkin spice too stinky. Pumpkin Pretzel Crunch, a doughy, buttery pretzel. Oh, it's a pretzel blend. A doughy, buttery pretzel loaded with pumpkin filling and bits of caramel. This one is absolutely on my list. Trust me, her pretzel blends are the perfect balance of yeasty with salty. It's kind of like if you go to a sporting event or I don't know if they do pretzels at the movies, but I'm talking about the big ones that you have to bite into. At the basketball games and the football games that we go to, which we have season tickets for both this year. We've never had season tickets for both fall and going into winter, which, yay. I'm excited for that. Those big super pretzels that has the pretzel salt on the outside, that's exactly what this smells like. And you know how they come coated with butter? That's what her pretzel smells like. And the fact that she has pumpkin filling and caramel, yes please. She has another one, Naughty Pumpkin, that doesn't have the Naughty Pretzel. It doesn't have the pumpkin, it's just the buttery pretzel and the caramel, and it's fantastic. This next one I'm already in love with. Raspberry jam-filled cronuts. A croissant-like pastry deep fried like a donut, filled with our delicious farm-fresh raspberry jam rolled in sugar. Oh my God. Yes, oh my God is it. This one, don't even think about it. If you like raspberry and if you like donuts, give this one a try. This one, I'm gonna play around with this. If I should blend it with my coffee, should I put this with my burnt sugar cake? Just raspberry bakery is just delicious to me with Dessa. Sacred Grounds, this next one. This is a new one. We have blended our almond cream baguette with fresh ground coffee and our delicious cinnamon streusel topping. Yes, please. All of the above. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Coffee, almond cream baguette, cinnamon streusel topping. Come on, yummy. Salem. Salem is a good one. I've had Salem before. Leaves type, juicy Macintosh apple, dewy outdoor leaves, and our vanilla voodoo create this haunting blend. You have leaves with extra apple and, a little bit of coolness and crispness in the air, a little bit of vanilla voodoo. Vanilla voodoo is coming up on one of these last pages here. Salem Fall Festival, a blend of creamy zucchini bread, pumpkin sugar donuts, and apple cider donuts. This is just a quintessential fall blend, apple and pumpkin and zucchini bread. Santa's Pipe, a warm combination of smoky tobacco leaf with a background of cherry wood, cedar, and vanilla bean. This is such a nostalgic scent, and it brings back memories of my grandpa smoking his pipe when I was younger. Such a wonderful memory. Usually a lot of tobacco blends are put with cherry because tobacco and cherry just work well together. I haven't had the one with cedar and vanilla bean, but I'm going to try at least a breakaway bar of this because I do love my tobacco scents. Don't think cherry bakery. It's not cherry bakery. It is cherry. It's true, authentic cherry mixed with that tobacco. Scratch Kitchen. This one's got a lot of conversation going lately. We have combined deep fried funnel cake with doughy cronuts, layers of croissant dough fried like a donut, and our rich and buttery apple crumble. So the apple crumble we talked about an hour and 20 minutes ago at the beginning, mixed with a cronut. So go figure if you like that or not. I do. Seaside Escape, salt and brine ocean air sweetened with lavender and toasted marshmallow. So salty sea air with lavender. It works. I've had it before. I haven't had this particular blend, but I've had similar ones from other vendors. This next one's another one, Shut the Front Door. A blend of strawberry pound cake, sweet macerated strawberries, farm fresh raspberry jam, deep fried funnel cake, and our New Orleans beignets. Can you say drool? So Dessa took all of her really good ooey gooey berry and blended it with a lot of bakery. And this is going to be a good one. I bet this is going to be one of her best sellers because it's got sweet macerated strawberries, which is one of her best strawberry ones. The farm fresh raspberry jam, which I've talked about for hours. Strawberry pound cake. Those blends always do well. Sinister. A sultry, warm blend of raw cedar wood and chestnuts and brown sugar, Palo Santo, and vanilla voodoo. I love cedar. This is going to be cedar sweetened up a little bit, in my opinion. That's a new blend. Snowed In. Snowed In is a really good blend, too. This blend captures the spirit of being snowed in during a blistery snowstorm. The scent of fresh fallen snow, balsam and evergreen needles, cranberries and spices simmering on the stove, and a roaring fire in the fireplace. So what it's trying to make you think of is that you're snowed in. And I really don't know many people who stay in during snowstorms unless it's actively snowing. I live in Utah, so there are no snow days here. The roads are taken care of beautifully here, I must say, of any place I've lived in my life. Snow doesn't stop us. If we're up in the mountains, where we were last weekend playing around, if we're up there where you need chains on your tires, those are truly snowed in places. So imagine you rent a cabin in the mountains of Colorado or Utah, Wyoming, Montana, that situation. Or you're at the Dutton cabin from Yellowstone, snowed in. You have the trees around you, the balsam, the evergreen. You have cranberries and potpourri, cinnamon on the stove, and fire in the background. Snowed in. No place to go. Snowflakes and sleigh rides, new one. Imagine this wintry scene. The ground is covered in fresh fallen snow. There are wintry pines all around you. The air is cold and crisp, and snowflakes are falling from the sky. This scent will take you there. So, I'm trying to see what time it is over there, but I can't see. The light is too bright in my face. This one here is a new one, so of course no one knows what it really smells like but Dessa. I think this one is going to be very pine heavy because it has fresh fallen snow, pine. This is kind of like maybe being outside in a little forest with pine around you and the coolness in the air. That's just what I'm thinking. Spooktacular. I've had this one before. A blend of pumpkin pecan waffles, cinnamon rolls, and vanilla frosting with cupcakes at Tiffany's. Yum. I've had this one before, like I said. It's a really just good, rich bakery. Stormy Nights. I think that there is a guy in Dessa's group. I think his name is Scott. I think he likes this scent. I remember him talking about Stormy Nights before, if I'm thinking of the right person. Reminiscent of the clean, brisk air before a rainstorm, clean and refreshing. I'm going to try this blend. I have never had this one before, but I'm going to try it because clean air before a storm, like, you know how I can't really say here in Utah because it doesn't storm like it does in the east where I'm from. I mean, I was born and raised in Pennsylvania, and the air has a different aroma to it right before a storm kicks up and after it rains. I miss the pre-rain And I wonder if this would be similar to that. Strawberry zucchini streusel. We have combined our strawberry pound cake with our sugared zucchini streusel. This is magical, one of our best sellers. Sugared zucchini streusel is on the next page, and it's a delicious blend of sugar cookies, zucchini bread, and cinnamon streusel topping. My tub is in sugared zucchini streusel, and this one, it's not too cinnamony. It's there though. But it's blended so well with the zucchini bread and blended so well with the cookies. It is a delicious, yummy blend. Dessa definitely had to have this on the list because she needs more for herself. She did tell me that one. Okay, so strawberry zucchini streusel. You really can smell the strawberry pound cake in this one. My nose has a hard time picking up strawberry pound cake, but the way that Dessa has blended this one, they're both equally there. Sugar, milk, and cookies. This is a new blend. Rich cookies with caramelized sugar are dunked in a tall glass of sweet, warm milk. There's nothing sour about this sugar milk. It is sweet and delicious. So cookies and milk. Definitely going to try that one. I think that would be a great blender too. Next, we talked about sugared zucchini streusel. Only 2 more pages here. We're almost done. Sweet lavender beach. We have combined our beach nights with sweet and soothing lavender and hints of vanilla. This is such a perfect nighttime blend. Beach nights and lavender, I think a lot of us who like both of those notes will get this one because gotta try it out. It's a new blend too. Sweet macerated strawberries. This is one of her top sellers. Always has been. Fill a bowl with sliced strawberries. Generously coat with sugar and allow them to sit until the delicious sweet strawberry syrup is released. This is that scent and it is fabulous. It's not too overpowering, but it's just like nice, natural, sweet strawberries that my mom taught me when I was little. You sprinkle with sugar, take your fork, mash them up a little bit, and let them sit. That's what my grandmother used to make for dessert over either a pound cake or an angel food cake or whatever they could afford. My mom was one of 11 and whatever they could afford. But those macerated strawberries have been around for a long time. That was one of the first things that my mom taught me to make. Even though there's not much to it, it's just something that she passed down to me. So that is exactly what this smells like. It's a great blender. I mean, you can have fun with this one. Vanilla Voodoo. What is this voodoo? This is our house blend of white birch, Madagascar vanilla, warm sandalwood, and sweet vanilla cream. Now, I'm not a vanilla person. Never have been. But I got a sample of Vanilla Voodoo in my last order. And I've never tried Vanilla Voodoo. And it's fantastic. You get the Madagascar vanilla is different from any vanilla that's out there. It's not vanilla extract. It's not plain vanilla. It's not bakery vanilla. It's not gourmand. It's just richer, more sophisticated. A little bit of sandalwood, a little bit of birch. It's a nice, beautiful, relaxing, calming blend. And I don't know how she does it, which is why it's called Voodoo. Next, Visions of Sugar Plums. This is a new one. We have combined our Sugar Plum Fairy, which is sugared plums, black pepper, and holiday spices, with our fresh balsam. So plum, a little bit of spice with balsam. That would be good. That would be a good one. Winter Hideaway, a warm and cozy blend of rich creme brulee, sweet oat milk with a light sprinkling of spices, and a background of crackling campfire and charred embers. This is another new blend. So this one here, I think, if you like creme brulee, some people don't like creme brulee, but it just is, it's vanilla custard tempered with vanilla bean, and then on the top is sugar, and they take a torch and they burn the top. So then when you put your spoon down in it, you crack it and you get the caramelized sugar. That with creamy oat milk, a little bit of spice, and a little bit of fire in the background. That would be interesting. Last page. Winter Snow Globe. This one is super popular. This is a blend of our sugar cookies combined with Winter Moon. Winter Moon is vanilla bean Noel, gooey marshmallow fluff, sweet candy cane, and creamy white chocolate drizzle. This one is super popular. It was one of her blends in the advent calendar from a couple years ago. It was one of the most popular ones. It's been brought back several times since. I like this one. It's kind of a creamier blend. It's not terribly strong. At least it wasn't in my home. The candy cane is there, but it's very creamy because you have. Hi, honey. Did you hear my baby? When she comes downstairs, she scared me. Hi, honey. She's coming down to get me for bedtime because it's almost bedtime, sweetheart. I know. Mama's almost done. What was I saying? Oh, the candy cane, the vanilla, the marshmallow is there with cookies. It's a good blend. It's just not too strong. I know. I might take some flack for that, but it's just my experience with it. Come here. Winter Witch. A magical blend of damp autumn leaves on the ground, crackling logs on the fire, gooey roasted marshmallows, earthy cedar wood, and crisp, juicy Macintosh apples. I haven't had this one before, but mac apple, leaves, marshmallows, cedar. It's going to be a nice outdoor apple scent. Wish Upon a Star. Okay, the Wish Upon a Star. Dessa texted me a couple of weeks ago when she was putting her list together, and she asked me, Wish Upon a Star or Main Street Blueberry Waffles? And I said Wish Upon a Star. So that's why this one's on here. So why is because Main Street Blueberry Waffles is in this blend. When you wish upon a star, dreams do come true. We have paired our Main Street Blueberry Waffles, which is light and fluffy Belgian waffles with sweet blueberry compote, with zucchini bread. Freshly baked creamy zucchini bread with just a hint of spice. I love her Main Street Blueberry Waffles. That blueberry compote and the Eggo waffle is so good. Blended with zucchini bread. I love blueberry and zucchini bread. It's so good together. So Wish Upon the Star, Main Street Memory Collection. If you haven't tried it, that's a good one. Witches Fly at Night. This is another one I've had. There is magic in the air as the witches glide through the night. A comforting, warm blend of earthy cedar wood, sweet cinnamon sugar, toasted marshmallows, and fire-roasted vanilla. This blend has been reformulated to tone down the cinnamon. That's good because this one was heavy cinnamon before. I like that she's letting a little bit of the wood shine and that charred marshmallow. And finally, Ye Old Witch House. A haunting blend of our vanilla voodoo, sweet cinnamon streusel, toasted marshmallows, and a warm background of bonfire bliss. So this one here is quite simply, it's just cinnamon and vanilla with a little bit of bonfire. That's how I would describe that one. I've had that one before. Okay, 1 hour and 31 minutes. That is the list for the fall pre-order for Dessa's Homespun Scents. I genuinely hope you enjoyed this video. I wanted to do this as kind of a kickoff to welcome Dessa back into the wax community. We've missed her. Hope you guys have a beautiful rest of the week. Happy pre-order day on Saturday, and I'll see you soon.